Nova Scotia's EMO asked to use the hall as a registration center for residents of Portapique who had fled their homes.
For residents of Portapique who had fled their homes.
An RCMP officer was posted here in a cruiser. By this time, police were on the hunt for the shooter, who they knew was impersonating a police officer. At 10:30 a.m., two RCMP officers fired multiple shots outside the hall. Sources have told CTV News the officers thought they were firing at the suspect, and it was in fact Mountie.
This program is brought to you in part by
Why don't you get yourself some turned down collars? How much more the thing?
The thing, Hastings? Do you think Poirot concerns himself with mere thingness?
No, I
The turned down collar is the symptom of decay of the grey cells.
If people keep pushing, I can't first of all, thank enough all of the hard work. There's three fellow YouTubers who are working very hard on this. Rage in the Cage, LTT, and just my stupid about them, sorry, but they are fantastic guys, really been busting their and stepping up to the plate. There's a certain amount of risk, certain things, and also likewise, all of the people are volunteering information and time. Like I said, we're on the Discord, sending me anonymously information. It is fantastic.
Evening. Been a couple of days, I think, isn't it? How are you guys doing tonight? Okay, so there was an article that came out. Mike got the notification. Awesome. Aussie, how's it going? There was an article that came out 2 days ago from Harry, and I thought we should share that and just talk about it, just to keep that. Why are we doing this? Alive. And then I thought I'd share a couple of things with you. Leah, Beth, slow as a turtle. Good news. I see your collar's still up. We're taking down the Leo mob. There we go. Dave, Paul. There's my brother Paul. What's happening? Okay, so let's shut it, Seamus. See now, have I got this right? I don't know. I don't want any echoes or any of this nonsense. We'll play his video first. Harry is awesome. I really have a lot of respect for this man. He has held his composure. He is very, he's just a good man. My heart, honestly, goes out to this guy. So let's go out to him. Let me know if there's an echo, please. Oh, would help if there is sound, wouldn't it? Oh. There we go.
There's a lot of stuff that's been brought out, just media. I mean, we hear from you, it's hurtful. You don't know what to believe when you watch them on the news they have 4 or 5 different interviews at different times, and every interview they have, their words are different. They're stabbing themselves in the back, two-facing themselves. You wonder what the hell it is they're hiding and what they're not telling, because everybody can see it. If you're telling the truth, your story's not going to change. Their stories do change, so they're lying. You watch their body language, you can tell they're lying. It's not right.
I suppose no sound. There we go. Thank you. Is that better? Is that better? Don't be cranking it, Dave. Don't be cranking it. Winky face for somebody out there, too. I see you. Leah. Mark. Sound is gone. Sound is gone. Are we better? Rick. Ozzy. Paul. Okay, sound good now. Seamus can't just get something flawless. You know, doesn't happen. Do you guys have that problem sometimes in life? The phone kept ringing over and over again. Harry Bond tried to reach his parents at their home in Portapique, Nova Scotia on Sunday, April 19th. Bond was worried about whether his parents were still alive. At the time, news was spreading about a gunman's murderous 13-hour rampage that began down the street from where his parents lived. You know, it started in Mom and Dad's backyard, and you can't get a hold of them. Bond said, "The phone is ringing and nobody is answering." Peter and Joy Bond were among the first of the 20, let's change this here, media, 23 people killed. I don't know why they insist on doing this, but I think I have my suspicions. Killed in the shooting spree. But Bond said he only found out that his parents had died on April 20th. How long is that? How long did he have to wait? 2 days. 2 days. The quickest informed family was 7 hours, I believe, and that was because they literally went to Bible Hill Station as a family, a gang, and went down there and said, "You tell us whether our family member is dead or not." And confronted with that, well, then they told the truth. 2 days? Could you imagine how that would feel? Nearly 2 days after they were shot, he and his brother got the news after driving to a police roadblock in Portapique and demanding answers. This was how families had to do this. No, that's not true, Paul. I'm speaking, or Michael, I'm speaking of the unborn child. Yep. That's why it's 23. And Harry points that out always. And it's right. His experience mirrors what happened to other relatives of the victims. In a proposed class action lawsuit, they alleged the RCMP misled Canadians about what really happened. Some victims' families have said that they were told by the RCMP to watch the news for updates about the investigation rather than receiving the information directly. Just go turn on the news. We can't tell you, but we could tell the news who could maybe tell you. Does that seem a bit counterintuitive? Possibly. Sounds like cowards. They also said police released statements to the public that falsely claimed families were notified about the details before they were sent out. Again, I know this one to be true from firsthand experience, right? Not just reading it. Sadly, very sadly, we're not being told anything, Bond said. When we find something out, it's through the media. Victim rights advocates and criminologists who spoke to Global News say it's critical that victims of crime receive information directly from police. Derp. Who are you supposed to receive it from? And not secondhand through the media or via police press conferences. How insensitive. Thank goodness. I believe this is part of the class action suit. This is why, one of the reasons, aside from returning cars with family members in them, pieces of them, not to be graphic. Let's be true here. Who does that? Oh, the RCMP does. But there are no rules that require police to disclose this type of information with families, not even victim rights legislation adopted by former Prime Minister Stephen Harper's government in 2015. They say, who cares about these governments? They're all trash. Where is Hearts? Hello? Oh, I sadly never hope anybody has to go through this, but maybe the RCMP members might want to think about that one. Do you think that some of these other people have experienced this before? Deaths? Maybe Angela has? Maybe Mr. Carroll has? They're quite vocal then. That's not acceptable, said Tammy Landau, a criminology professor at Toronto's Ryerson University. Like, you have to go to these people to speak to it about it. Like, just use your fucking brain. Police should have a real firmly established protocol of how to communicate with victims ahead of any announcement or, oh, Jesus. Sorry. Any announcement or any press release. The concerns are the latest criticism aimed at the RCMP over its response to its shootings. What response? Including questions about why it failed to issue emergency alert to warn the public about the danger they faced. Oh no. I didn't just read that again. Did I? Did I just read that? Okay, going to have to, sorry, give me one moment. I'm going to have to go and find something about that, since the RCMP did, though, didn't they? They issued the, get out here. There we go. They issued the alert, did they not? They issued the alert, I thought. Let's see here. I'm pretty sure they did.
And as it relates to the use of the alert system versus Twitter, perhaps my friend from communications can speak to that. I believe there was an Amber Alert that went out at some point.
No, we just used the Twitter and Facebook just because it was unfolding. And
right.
We were in contact with the province about it, but it just never assessed it.
I believe there was an Amber Alert that went out at some point.
What kind of, oh, we got derp. Honestly, he doesn't even know what it's called. First of all, it's called an Amber Alert. She doesn't know. She got the turf. Interesting. One of the first, people. When you don't get along or you do something slightly out of line, boom, you're gone. This is how the RCMP operate. Who knows what she's doing now? Probably PTSD, toilet scrubbing. You watch, she'll be on medical leave because of what they'll put her through. He doesn't even know. But he's the man in charge. Leather was the man in charge in Nova Scotia. That duration of this horrific series of events that transpired all over Nova Scotia because they couldn't even find the guy. Oh. Take your pills. Somebody, take your pills. I know you're there. who failed to issue. Oh, but don't worry about it. Did you see the look on his face? Did you see the look on his face? He was smiling. He was smiling when he said that. And then she's like, no. We actually used the Twitter and the Facebook, which they didn't. That's a lie. Because it was an unfolding event. You know how they have the speaking points all the time, the same garbage words, the word salad, I call it. Right? Oh, it was unfolding. It was dynamic. It was fluid. It was fluid in their pants is what it is. Anyways, I shouldn't get too fired up. The provincial government agreed in late July to hold a public inquiry into the shooting in response to intense public pressure. No, what they were doing was they were waiting. They brewed this one up in the background, of course, had it in their back pocket. They're like, oh, now we can pull it out because we had a protest. And then, we got the other one back in there. The second one. We'll change it from the review to the inquiry. We'll just transplant those 3 over there. Right? It's just the same thing again. Just a different name. Now we have a slightly different set of rules, but who's in charge of it all? Same people we chose. But they strategically choose these things. Well, people are pissed off now. Okay, we'll pull out the review. Oh, they're getting more pissed off. Oh, okay. Within like a day, we'll pull out the. Now we're going to do the inquiry. We'll have that. We'll have that for you though. But what was said there. We don't have to have people subpoenaed, so nobody had to testify if they didn't want to. Oh, I've got a golf game. I can't come and talk. Sorry. If you came, you didn't have to tell the truth. If the release of the information didn't have to be public. What? So what was it going to be? And it took them months to dream that up. If you're not understanding how much you're getting shafted here, and these families aren't, and it gets much worse, please remember what I said about the lawyer. Oh, this stuff gets so fucking deep, man. When are we going to get the truth? When are the RCMP members who had to be heroes that night and are now part of a shameful organization and have been for decades? You speak out of line, you're getting PTSD. Guaranteed. Members are running around, honestly, no word of a lie, dressed in red serges, going down to their detachment, right in front. What kind of a police organization are we running here? Nobody's getting served. Not you, not myself, not the families, obviously. Not the regular members who get served. White shirts. That's who gets served. And then you got Chris with the smile on his face. Who cares? Doesn't matter. 23 people dead. Don't care about that. We'll just keep staging stuff and lying about things and repeatedly getting busted and lying. RCMP committed to the truth. The RCMP said it is committed to discovering the truth about the shootings and sharing this information with victims, families, and media and public. In what order is that? What order? How many days? 2? 3? Bodies were sitting around in houses for days. Oh, not in some cases. Some cases they were going to the tow yard. In the back of cars. What is going on here? Tobacco. As the fire's getting put out. Just destroy the evidence. It's okay. There's only 2 bodies in there. That's fine. Who knows even if the bodies were in there? I really hope that's not true. Said, oh, they're discovering the truth. Discovering the truth. They can know the truth if it hit them in the fucking side of the head. And definitely it doesn't go in this orders. No. And none of them actually, funnily enough, get the truth. None of it. Just all lies. All lies. The force also said it had been assigned a family liaison officer to the case immediately after the shooting to update victims' families and provide support as needed. Oh, peanut butter time? They know who I'm talking about. I know how that officer operates. Reconnect with your soul, sir. To update families and provide support. That like we're gonna have the lengthy interview with Campbell because you're so pissed off and you're so upset. You're so upset with us. We'll have a lengthy interview, but we'll tell you that sometime. Oh, sorry, it's sitting on the cutting room floor. We're still editing it. Oh, CBC's looking at things. Oh, we'll write an article now. And then go back a few days later and insert a video clip. CBC with McMillan. Oh, this stuff is, it honestly, you couldn't write it. It's so unbelievable. The RCMP acknowledged early in the investigation, information was shared with the media before it was shared with victims' families. It wasn't shared with anybody, really, was it? How long did it take them to tell you? Anything? Have they told you anything? I like some of these comments at the press conferences where they're like, thank you very much for the detailed timeline, when it has 7 times. 7! How detailed is that in 13 hours? 7! Maybe I'm off by 1 or 2. But seriously, you don't have any times. It's so detailed. You've used Google Maps with lines all over it. It's crap. Crap! They don't even know how to use it. Oh, that is declared by themselves. They don't even know how to use Google Earth. Families did raise the issue that they wanted to be notified ahead of time when material was released to the media. And since then, we have done that, said RCMP spokesperson Corporal Derp. Oh, I mean, Derp. I mean, Jennifer Clark in a written statement. In a what? In a written statement. In a written statement. Derp has no balls. This force has no balls. That's why they couldn't go in, except for a few good, really good people who were told, this is your last shift. You go in there. I haven't shared so many details with you guys, but I'll tell you, they're fucking horrific. Horrific what went down on that road. If it ever comes to light what happened to those children, which at this point in time I can't share, unfucking believable. People will be burning down their buildings. Not that I'm calling for any kind of violence, because I obviously don't want that. I don't want anybody to become criminals. No. What I do want is a re-identification of who we are. And these people, if they have no souls left anymore, they've got to go and go to jail. Don't get $200. And I want my money back. You can put it into the victims fund. Unbelievable. You know, and I shouldn't get so upset because I should be composed and well-mannered, like Harry. You hear him speak. He's so polite. I'm just like, wow, this guy is awesome. But you know what's going on. Let's have a look at what his site says. Okay. This is his Facebook page. 2020 can fuck off anytime. Oh, sorry. 2020 can fuck off anytime. Worst year ever. This is the kind of pain he's in. Unbelievable. Well, looky. Police can get okay to escort this, but not a memorial drive for the victims. And he was so right when he said that. They misrepresented him in the media. He was very specific. This is for everybody. This is for all the 23 angels. This isn't for my family. This is for everybody. This guy has real heart. This guy is a brother of Canada's worst mass shooting. What does that say about our law enforcement? It shows that in their eyes, the only one that matters are the ones in uniform. We're all equal. What was this for? Oh, this was for Hero to Highway of Heroes tribute. Heroes. But you know what? They didn't want anybody to see the mountains of vehicles, motorcycles, big rigs, people lining the roads, because they wanted the stoplights so that it would break it up in the media. They didn't do a very good job because everybody saw. And everybody needs to keep seeing. Everybody needs to keep this alive. That's why I'm reading this article. You cannot let this die. If you do, the families down the line are going to be clawing for friends and help. I know it. Because I see the strategy that's been set up. Terrible. There we go. There's a very good question. I'm always glad that we could have that discussion. I didn't want to say it. There's certain things, obviously, I don't want to say. So I'll let Paul bring that out. Good. Thank you. The RCMP also said that it finished informing families about deceased relatives on April 20th, the day after the shootings. The reason for the delay, the force said, was to ensure victims were properly identified before notifying families. Oh, okay. Let's see here. Got a little video on that, maybe. Might fit. Where's that here? Doodaloo. I wish, I could just pull things from my head because it would just be so much faster. But of course I can't because I'm technologically a dope. Let me go to this one. Where's it here? I just had it. April 20th, the day after, because they needed to identify bodies, right? Where was that again? Oh, and I've got other videos of this. Sound familiar? Look familiar? Huh? Who are they taking care of? Doing their public show. They all use the psychological warfare on everybody. But you know why they did that, right? You feel sorry for them. Then you can't ask them questions. Oh, sorry, you lost your family member. Family member. Oh, we're so sorry for you, RCMP. You totally fucked up. No problem. Backhoeing homes. Right? No problem doing that. No problem bulldozing scenes. No problem towing away cars with bodies in them. No problem, any of this stuff. Oh, but they took 2 days to tell people. And that's not true. I know that not to be true. So fuck off on that. Quote, given the nature of the incidents, that was, okay, is this going to be written statement? I would think so. Given the nature of the incidents that were occurring, including many victims and scenes, next of kin notifications happened as soon as possible. Did you see as soon as possible? You know what I saw? Let's watch that again. Because it certainly looked like they were driving down the road. I see all these people working very hard to go and notify families. Doubling up in cars, driving around, putting on a big show. Yeah, Chad Morrison, another one, big parade. Professional photographers out there too. Certainly doesn't look like they're out there notifying families, does it? Certainly doesn't look like they're doing their work, trying to figure out who's dead. No, certainly looks like they're driving around, putting on a parade for themselves. Given the nature of the incidents that were occurring, many victims, families, teens, said, I would think that this is, funnily enough, a written statement. Victims of families and shooting. Let's have a look at this one. Tom. Oh no. I'm gonna get that. Uh-oh. You guys are getting that too. Sorry about that.
Again, just thank you, everybody. It means a lot.
After 3 long months of pressuring politicians, the families of those killed in April's mass shooting take a moment to celebrate.
I'm just grateful they changed their mind. That's it.
A victory march. After days of protest, the
No sound? Do I have no sound? Okay. These families are going to need you. They're going to need you. It's not a victory parade or a victory because they got the inquiry. I'm not a betting man. I'll put $5 down on it. $5. Okay, that's a significant bet actually for me when it's an inside joke. Usually I'll bet $1 when I know I'm going to win. It's just a joke. I'll bet $5. Those families are going to need you 8 months down the line when they realize, we just got screwed here. This public inquiry is a joke. Public inquiries, by and large, are a joke. Please go refresh yourself with the Don Dunphy case. I brought it up many times. Have a look. Have a look. So to say that this is all fine and dandy, you can just pack your bags and go home, the families are looking and they want to hold on to any kind of hope. I'm telling you, sadly, I wish I could be the bearer of great news and say, oh yeah, everything's wonderful. I've looked at this stuff for years. I'm in contact with people who have been through this. Not the way it works. Not the way it works, sadly. And they've walked that and traveled that road many times, different people. And they know how it works. They get into it and they're like, oh, okay, yeah, everything's going to be okay. Maybe we'll get those answers we need. And then they're like, oh, we just got duped. And then they're searching for that support. Oh, but they've moved on because everybody went home. Everybody stopped caring. They flooded you with all kinds of other news and trauma. Keep pushing on this one, please. Sue the RCMP. Again, I brought some tips out about that, some information. I wish I could feel as confident about that as I once did. I don't, sadly. Boom. But brothers Justin and Riley Zoll said they didn't know for days after the shooting whether their parents, John Zoll and Elizabeth Joanne Thomas, whose Portapique home was set on fire by the gunman, were among the victims. I know it from another angle. And yeah, like I said, I haven't read this article before. I haven't. I like to just read them with you because then it gives me the raw emotion that I feel. I know that they were fucking lying when they said 2 days. Out of here. 2 days, my ass. Days and days. I don't want you to look at that and be like, oh my God, he's replaying shit over and over again. I want you to feel what I feel, what I know. The anger, the rage. Help it to reinforce what is going on here. They didn't know for days. Tara didn't know for days. Days and days. No, it did not slow his turtle. No. Please. I know that people are always big on the gun confiscation project. Wide Awake. Great name, isn't it? Project Wide Awake. Okay, this is an older stuff. This is their Project Wide Awake 1.0. Okay, I'll drop a link in here for you to familiarize yourself with it. This was the first incarnation of it. Oh, come on. Select all, copy. This was the first incarnation. Okay, boom. All right. Then you find out Project Wide Awake. How about go Nova Scotia? Oh, my spelling. Oh, CTV boosts its social media mining for threats. But this, where is it? This one. Here we go. I like this one because it gives you a little bit of an idea. They just waited for this one. You see? Now, if you go down in the article, this is how freaky it gets. And I'm going to get into a little bit more after this article about what's going on in terms of the but this is all to do with monitoring every single thing that you do every which way from Sunday. Darknet, DeepNet, GrayNet, whatever. Groupons, banking all of your data, where you drive, what you watch on TV, every single thing. It's so excessive, this program, that Wide Awake 2.0 beats out the Department of National Defense in the United States. It's not good enough for them. The first version. Now they want the second version. This is how deep of an intelligence organization this is. Don't think this is a gravel road cops. No, it's not about gun confiscation. That was sitting around. You all know that. You know that. It was sitting around for years. I should just do a video about that. It was sitting around for years. They drafted that. It was sitting around. They were all talking about it. It was the same fucking thing. No. Then you go here. Says the RCMP, and this is CBC. In a contract tender submitted this month. Okay, you've got a nice little hyperlink here. Let's click on the hyperlink. Oh, sorry. No match is found. Oh, they just delete it. This is what they do. This is what they do. That's what they're after. All your data mining. Do you know how screwed all of my tech is? It wasn't good to begin with because of some other things I was doing. But people, I was on the phone with a wonderful, wonderful person. I can't get into it other more than that, who has been so helpful and knows so much about this stuff from the inside and helps me unbelievably huge. And she is a fighter, man. She's old and she's been fighting and fighting and fighting. Not old, no offense on you, because I know you'll be watching. I know how long and hard a fight that I can only imagine, actually, but I have a pretty good concept. And you are a true hero, a trooper, day after day after day, all day, years and years. And you know, we're talking on the phone. Nice echo. Love that echo. How you doing, RCMP? How you doing? My phones are totally tapped. Am I afraid of them? I'm like, what the fuck are you going to do with a piece of plastic? You got some ribbon. Yeah, good for you. I'm happy. I'm not doing anything illegal. I'm asking questions, and I'm not afraid of you. Nor are a lot of people, and nor should anybody be. I don't know what the hell's going on down in Nova Scotia with the people who are shutting down. I don't know what that's about. Reconnect. Look at your kids. Remember, next time it could be you. Let's get back to that article. Days. How would you feel sitting around for days and days waiting when you could just drive down there, literally, and you know yourself? And you know that there's people supposedly, when they're not doing parades, well, they are. They're all off doing parades. That's why they can't go and tell you. But then they'll go and tell the media a few days later, oh, now we're 10, maybe 17. I don't know where we're at today, 22, maybe. Who knows? RCMP released a statement on the 22nd that said it had not confirmed the identities of all the victims. This is the biggest crime in Canadian history. You have nothing but money. You have nothing but resources. But you are busy doing parades. You're busy paying professional photographers to absolutely skew and psychologically manipulate people. Quote, our members are working with the Nova Scotia Medical Examiner Service to identify the victims and connect their families as quickly as possible. I can assure you that all is being done when we identify the victims. We are notifying the next of kin. Days and days later, no autopsies still, and there won't be. And that's supposition on my part, but I'm fairly certain they don't want the ballistics to come out on what types of guns were used. They couldn't even tell you on the 28th. You remember? They're having the little powwows in the corner. What was it, the 28th? Oh, how many people died by gunshot? How many died by fire? They were able to answer right away. There was some sketchy business during the French question, part of that. And then about the girlfriend who's kind of a common law, who lives with him, who doesn't live with him, who's an important witness. Yeah, Lisa. Ooh. You don't know what to believe. Bond disputes the claim that RCMP shares every detail of the investigation with families before releasing information to the media. I know that from the inside too. It's hurtful, Bond says. They don't share anything with these people. Do you know that one family was told when they said that they had an issue, like they just kind of emotionally reacted, they were told that they were no longer going to be told anything until they apologized. Sorry? No, can't talk to you. Sorry, you must apologize to me. You hurt my feelings. What? They have 4 or 5 different interviews at different times, and in every interview they have, their words are different, he said. Every time. Watch. Those are probably... the videos I have are very long, right? And lots of stuff is repetitive and kind of trying to sort things out. But seriously, the 24th and the 28th, and probably the first couple, are really great. The 24th and the 28th, you can see, I literally point out stuff that's wrong on the 24th with what they're saying. They come back on the 28th and they revise it. You think that's a bit weird? Red Mazda. Suddenly there's a red Mazda. Oh, no, it's not a red Mazda. It's just a Mazda. Stuff, it's spooky. Spooky. You wonder what the hell they're hiding. I want to tweet this. I'm going to tweet that. On April 24th, RCMP Superintendent Darren Campbell said that at a press conference that a witness saw a gunman pull over and shoot a victim while driving a mock police vehicle. The gunman then continued down the same road where he had shot and killed another person in their vehicle, Campbell said. I believe we talked about that too. Campbell told a different version of these events at the press conference 6 weeks later. I can confirm, through the investigation that witness accounts, that the gunman did not use an RCMP replica vehicle to pull over any of the victims who were in their vehicles at the time, he said on the June 4th press conference. Sorry? Lie. Lies. And this is all just very logical. Only one needs to use their brain a little bit. Okay, so he's driving around in the RCMP cruiser. What does he do? He suddenly gets out and gets on his broom, right? And suddenly his car transports to the other side so that he can fly the broom over there after he pulls people over on the broom. And then he gets back in the car on the other side after he's pulled over two people. No, there's no evidence of misogyny. None. They even said, no misogyny. This is not a misogynist thing. But, you know, they already put Brenda, Colonel, retired, who's working security, private security consulting. Colonel Brenda Bow Forbes, who lives in Bass River, not Camrose. With George. Is what women's group needs to be doing. Just where are you living at, actually? What do you actually do, Brenda? What do you do with all those medals? Private security for 20 years. I think she might be into something slightly more than just military. Slightly more. But she didn't witness anything. You saw that? Read her articles. Didn't see anything. Maybe one event. Maybe. She saw him grab her and escort her out of the house. That's what she saw. The rest of it, she said, is hearsay, not admissible in court. Could be invented. Just saying. Oh no. Let's see what this says. Oh no, I don't want to listen to your ads. Campbell explained that this latest description was based on eyewitness accounts that contradicted what he had said earlier. And that investigators since changed the interpretation of what had happened because it fits their narrative a little bit better. Who's the eyewitness? Oh, you'll never find that out because they weren't going to tell you any eyewitnesses, and they still weren't. Well, we can't because that might traumatize them. Oh, does that mean there are no eyewitnesses to what you're saying? Well, the reality is that people give us information, and the information is interpreted to what we want them to say. We maybe write it up. I saw an ex-RCMP. I'm going to stick this in my intro. Ex-RCMP officer who said, you need to know how to write a script as an RCMP member. You need to know how to script things. Really? I only haven't been saying that the entire time. Script writing. It's an ongoing, changing story It will always change. The more holes that you shoot in this story, the more it will change. The more that they look like asshats, the more that you prove that they're lying, the more that people will suddenly get angry. More and more people, we need them angry. Not angry, America, crazy, defunding, angry, burning down buildings and violence. No, we need people just to say, where's your heart? And if you don't have one, please get out. Get out. The victims' families allege in their proposed class action lawsuit that RCMP deliberately misled the public when Campbell said no one was pulled over by the gunman while he was driving a replica police cruiser with fake RCMP decals and an authentic light bar mounted on top. Police have described the vehicle as very real look-alike. Oh. Not going to touch that. Watch the which one was that? The 28th that he said that? 24th? I said it. Live. What would they be pulling them over in then? It's very transparent. So much of this stuff. It just requires not listening to their word salad gobbledygook. The RCMP have not yet responded to the lawsuit, of course, as the case still needs to be certified by a judge. Certification of class action lawsuits is not automatic and can be opposed by the government. What do you think they're going to do that? Your government, your police force, fighting against you, fighting against the families. Families. I'm not hearing any justice. I'm seeing a lot of misleading. I'm seeing a lot of obfuscation. I'm seeing a lot of subversion as of late. Get out. Tony Marchand, lead lawyer in a proposed class action lawsuit against the RCMP by families of missing, murdered Indigenous women and girls, said the type of case launched in Nova Scotia, one that doesn't include RCMP employees as plaintiffs, has never been certified by court. But this type of case is new, he said, and the process can take years. Demand answers now. Otherwise, this is going to slip by. Meanwhile, Christian Leprecht, a policing and security expert at Mount Royal Military College in Kingston, said it's not unusual for police to change their version of events, especially during complex investigations. He doesn't have any horse in this race, does he? Always look at who's saying things. Oh, he works for who? The RMC. The RMC. What's the RMC? Military College. Of what? Sorry? Oh, the federal government. Right? Do you think he has some kind of bias? Oh, just maybe. Details collected early in an investigation are often viewed differently once more information is available. Once more script writing is available. He said, officers with major crimes experience will also view evidence differently. But they can't be investigating their stuff. This could change how the police understand certain details, including witness statements, to which you know none. No names, no anything. Precht also said eyewitnesses are notoriously unreliable. They'll float that one out, right? They'll say to you, oh, by the way, sorry, that person's crazy. You heard that yet? I know of 2 cases of this. 2 eyewitnesses. You know of one, for sure, don't you? Oh, I love the RCMP. Please don't be angry at the RCMP. What I said wasn't right. No. One moment, please. My apologies. Too much coffee. That's all I drink is coffee. So I can stay awake and have naps at crazy hours of the day. And accounts routinely do not align with other evidence. Well, this is of course true. But, I mean, are they going to use it to their advantage? Oh, you're goddamn right they will. Quote, it's complex, and I wouldn't necessarily chalk it up to malicious intent, he said. Still, he said, RCMP opened itself up to criticism with the way it reacted when the gunman, Gabriel Wortman, was still on the loose, including its use of Twitter rather than the police emergency alert system to warn local residents. Some of it is also just pure incompetence. There we go. There's the next one. Oh, just there, poor RCMP. I can't stress enough. Please see through the bullshit. This was all very intentional. It went straight to the top very quickly. And they're like, oh shit, we got a problem. We've got a cop car. We've got a man in police uniforms. We've got a man with badges, with a badge, not spoken about in the media. Halifax Regional Police uniforms. Integrated. What do we do? What do we do here? We'll just use the Twitter. It's okay. We only used the emergency alert 2-3 times over the Easter long weekend prior to that. We don't know how to use it. No. But we'll show you we know how to use it when we hear a construction site and there's some crashing on it. Oh my God, there's gunshots everywhere. That was a few days after. Do you remember? They lied to you the entire time. They have been lying to you the entire time. All of it. Very intentional. Very well planned. Very well executed. And they've got more chess moves. More. And they're pulling them out all the time. A right to information. Nick Beaton, whose pregnant wife, Kristen, this is 23, pregnant, awesome, real good. A child that never got to be, was killed by the gunman, Wortman, said in late July at a rally for victims' families that he also felt he was being left in the dark. You know how hard that is? Again, I explain that. How hard that is to say these kinds of words because they don't want to attack the one place that they can maybe get truth. One. You say anything against these people, they'll shut down. Do you want to offend them? No. They're not telling you anything really. And what they do tell you, they lie about. But you still need to hold on to something. Because if not, what do you have? And they know that they have that power. And they abuse it. They abuse and traumatize these families every day. The press conference where they say, we don't want to tell you any details because if we tell you details of anything, we'll be re-traumatizing those families. Those families are all asking for the details. Are you traumatizing them? Or are you hiding behind your veil? Your secret shield. Oh, we died. We had a family member die. Oh, it's domestic violence. Oh, by the way, we don't want to re-traumatize families, but we can't tell them 4 days. We can return cars in deplorable conditions. hurts. Imagine if that was your mom and you, you had to clean it up. Imagine if it was your kids. Imagine if it was your unborn baby. Said at a July rally for the victims that he also felt he was being left in the dark. Quote, "We find out from you guys, the media," he said. Not one family member has been told something before we've seen it in the news. Script writing. Darcy Dobson, whose mother, Heather O'Brien, was killed by the gunman, expressed similar concerns at the rally. Quote, "We have no more details than anybody else," she said. "That's frustrating because these are our loved ones and we deserve to have those details before the rest of the world. They need to be able to grieve. They can't grieve. Not really. They can only get hurt more and more and more and more and more." I remember when I started this out, I'm like, okay, this is a toughie for me, because if I talk about it, am I hurting the families more? I had a good conversation with Tara about it. Hey, Karen. I had a good conversation with Tara about it. And I said, would it be wrong? And she said, no, I want you to. I want you to do that. I know that you're good at this. Please. I know you won't give up. And I'm like, you're goddamn right I won't. I'll keep fighting. And we're going to get more people on board. I'll talk about that after. In 2015, the government passed the Victims' Bill of Rights, which included the right to information about the status and income of, or outcome, sorry, income. There's lots of people making income out of this, of an investigation into criminal offense. Victims are also entitled to information about their role within the criminal justice system, including any legal proceedings. But Landau, criminology professor, said those rights are more symbolic than anything. Not really important. I can literally see Chris Leather. You use the emergency order. It's just more simple. Don't worry about it. That the bill should be thought of as a statement of principles rather than a guarantee to protection. Quote, unfortunately, victims' interests are very poorly represented by the state. The state. Oh, yes, there's that mention. State. State. Non-state torture. Linda McDonald, friends with Brenda Bo Forbes. Gene Sarson, husband, RCMP. Ooh, do you see this conspiracy here? Oh, those people, they're conspiracy theorists. Don't listen to them, says Peanut Butter. And you know who I'm talking about. Those who are listening, they know. Don't listen to those conspiracy theorists. Don't. I'm not bringing conspiracy. What I am bringing is fact. Some of it's supposition. And I'm bringing a lot of hard research. You're driving around in cars, having golfing parties. Don't know what was happening over there in Langley. Very interesting. Not going to get into that right now. RCMP. And they are marginalized and mistreated by all criminal justice organizations, she said. Landau said that there are no consequences when police and other government agencies violate victims' rights. Okay, so what did we waste all that money on then? Excuse me? Why did we waste all the money on paper, debates, all of this nonsense, so there's really no consequences for anything? Don't worry, you have a messy room, just leave it messy. It's fine. I want to clean, but doesn't matter. Federal Ombudsman, oh good, for victims' crime, Heidi Illingsworth, made similar remarks in January 2019 interview with Canadian Press when she said, Bill of Rights doesn't go far enough and victims need legally enforceable rights. Then do something! You're an ombudsman! Why do you run around and tell us it doesn't work? Thanks. You get paid, though, free paycheck for you. If we've given rights in legislation, there has to be a remedy to that right. Otherwise, it's not an actual right, she said. Smoke and mirrors? This is all theater, people. All of it. Still, there's nothing stopping police from developing clear and enforceable policies that treat victims respectfully, Landau said. But do they? Oh, no. No. Police choose not to. Choose not to. We don't like that. It doesn't really help us any. Thank you. Thanks, Paul. Sorry, I try to look at your comments a little bit. I don't do a very good job. I do apologize. I know you're saying all kinds of good stuff in there too. Most of it. Because they perceive it possibly interfering with their own agenda and their own ability to carry out their jobs. Does that have anything to do with victims? Oh, own. Police. Oh, no. Don't worry about the victims. Not important. Global News asked the offices of Justice Minister David Lametti and Public Safety. Oh, Minister Bill. Watch them fall. Keep pushing. Watch them fall. Whether they support penalties for police agencies that violate victims' rights, neither answered this question directly. Neither. Is that a surprise or more theater? We're there. You ask us questions. We don't answer. Does it sound like the RCMP? Responding in a, written statement. This is a surprise. I've never seen that before. Throughout every fucking process. Spokespersons for the two ministers said the government provides financial assistance to the province's territories, non-governmental organizations to create and support victim services. You know what they want? They want answers. They want answers. You have the ability to give them answers. We employ you. You don't do it. They also said the ombudsman can investigate complaints about alleged breaches of victims' rights. Didn't I just say something about that up here? How? That's their job? Oh, but they don't do it. They're all in the same team. Team non-citizen, non-good. Team evil. Quote, we have made significant advances towards creating a criminal justice system where victim survivors and their families are treated with courtesy. We return bodies and cars. Compassion. What about those kids? Dig on those kids. Find some not so good things. And respect. We don't tell you any answers before we tell the media in written statements, which are just lies, and are able to access justice they rightfully deserve. Oh, we'll get that review inquiry we're designing specially so we don't have to answer any questions. Rochelle Rappaport said. Team Evil. Conservative public safety critic Pierre-Paul Huss did not respond directly to the question about whether he supports creating penalties for victims' rights are violated. Well, there's a surprise. Does it sound like he's working too? No. Get same thing. However, in a written statement, there we go again. He said that conservatives will continue pushing to improve legislation that advances rights of victims, including working with the federal ombudsman who doesn't do their job. But you pay them all of them. And they fight you and lie to you and continue their evil behavior, which teaches our kids wonderful things and traumatizes everybody in the story, including you. Funny that. He also challenged the government's commitment to finding the truth about the Nova Scotia shooting, saying calls for victims' families for a public inquiry were shamefully ignored by governments of Prime Minister Justin Trudeau and Nova Scotia Premier Stephen McNeil. One down. Keep going. Keep going. I'm begging you. You can make real difference here. Those of you who have information better do something. It's going to be your kids the next time. You think I'm lying to you? Watch. The decision to launch a full-scale public inquiry was only made after significant backlash from families, legal experts, senators, politicians, including several Liberal MPs. All a joke. They had it in their pocket. There's like, how much more can we piss these people off? Okay, they're pretty pissed off now. We'll pull out the review. We've got that one done. Nobody needs to do anything. Nobody needs to tell the truth. Nobody needs to come, and nobody needs to be able to see anything. Okay, there we go. That's what we worked on for 4 months. Right? Oh, you're mad? Guess what? Magically, we have the inquiry also in our back pocket. Right away. Oh, here you go. Oh, but we're just taking those 3 over there. And they don't have any bias. Finch, look at who they are. Victims are often left in the dark. One factor the RCMP was likely considering when deciding about what information to release to the families and the public was the specter of a full-scale public inquiry. Oh, I thought that's what they wanted. No, I guess you want to make it so that people don't have that. Although the RCMP initially held a series of press conferences in the days and weeks following up to the shootings. Oh yes, very detailed timelines, very carefully picked pictures. No time and date stamps. Oh, don't worry about those other time and date stamps, because those are wrong. Lloyd. It's been nearly 3 months since they last faced questions in a public setting. Oh, but that you remember? Frank? Oh yeah, you're out. Sorry, you asked a good question. You're gone. Oh, we're done here. No, we're done here. We can't talk to you anymore. Again, who pays your salary? I'm confused here. I'm confused. I want my underwear back. Literally. I want all of it. And when Canadians get angry enough, they're going to take it all back. All of it. You're going to lose everything. So you think you sold out and you got a little bit, you're going to lose everything. And you're not going to have any friends except your evil counterparts. But you know what? It won't matter to you. Hopefully the homelessness will help. Police have also said that they're disclosing, oh, there we go. Look at the picture. Police have said they're also disclosing certain details that could jeopardize ongoing investigations into dead men, including the possibility of tipping anyone who might have assisted the gunman. Yeah, right. Oh, yeah, see. Oh, this was such a fraud. We'll get that for you. It'll be coming, we promise. Oh, we'll have it for you next week. Oh, it's like the CERT thing. Where's the CERT investigation? Where is it? Oh, they broke the law on that one? Oops, sorry about that one too. Lean Laskino, Executive Director of Canadian Resource Centre for Victims of Crime, said it's understandable the RCMP might not be able to release every detail of the ongoing investigation, but she believes police have a moral obligation. Wow. You just figured that one out all on your own, Aline? Wow. I'm dealing with some intellectual heavyweights here. Be careful. Be careful. They might stop reading the picture books. What are we going to do? Who pays her? One of the most frustrating things for victims, she said, is balancing the desire to know everything about an investigation with the reality that police work often move slowly. Slow as turtle, right? I like the name. Moves slow as a turtle. And sometimes secretly. Surprise, surprise. Surprise, surprise. Secrets. Secret. I got a secret. I'm not going to tell you, but you pay me. I just have sex parties in Langley. She also said the amount of information shared with victims depends largely on the investigators assigned to the case. Oh, don't worry. There we're doing parades and backhoeing and working hard. All a sham. All. And I know that reality is very hard to hold on to. Because once you accept it, once you really, like I always talk about that, once you accept that one, it is horrifically devastating to understand how bad this is. But you have to accept the truth. You can't live in lies. That's what we've done all this time. And look where it's gotten us. Sometimes victims receive a lot of details. Other times they get very little. Quote, it's not the first time I've heard victims being, what's that? Kept in the dark, she said. Not the first time. They're getting more upset, and the families are more desperate, and they need help. it's incumbent upon you to help them. You have to share what you learn. I'll get into that in a bit. Stronger Together, Nova Scotia fund raises $5.5 million for families of shooting victims. Do you think they need $5.5 million, or do you think they need answers? July 15th. For almost 3 months now, donations have been pouring in throughout East Coast and the world to the Stronger Together Nova Scotia Fund, set up in the aftermath of the mass shootings. Obviously, families need money. Kids, grieving, time, etc. 22 people were killed in the attack, which affected several communities throughout Nova Scotia's Colchester County in April. The fund was announced by the provincial government. Is that what they were asking for? Did they go out on the streets? Did they rally for, you know what, we need millions of dollars. That's what we want. That's what we want. Could you give us millions of dollars? Or did they say, give us the truth. Tell us whether our family members are dead. Tell us how they're dead. Please give us autopsy reports. Denied. Lied. They don't want the money. They want to be able to close this one. Days after the tragedy, with the aim of supporting families, those who killed, and the affected communities into the future, the province partnered with Red Cross, accepted donations, and manages the fund. Oh, that sounds fine. No, we don't have any hanky-panky business going on here. Hey, Harles. Regardless of the amount of money distributed, it will never make folks whole again. Never will. These people their lives have been destroyed forever. And money isn't going to bring anything back. It's not going to do anything. It's really not that cheap cliche. What they want is answers. This is us. Our government, our police force, our Brenda Bow Forbes working in private security for 20 years. Colonel. If you're not spooked, you should be. What do you think the private security is? Security consulting. Bass River. Oh, not Camrose. Sorry about that. Lawler says Red Cross has a responsibility to administer the funds equitably and accountable to many donors to ensure it's responsible, and it's done carefully. It's not just a matter of speed. Simply divide up by 22, move on, and be done with it. I want to make sure to provide everybody equitable. Okay, whatever. On Tuesday, a family member of two of the victims expressed concern on a Facebook process. Harry Bond's parents, Peter and Joy Bond, were killed in the mass murder. In his post, Bond writes, they want to know how much life insurance each has received and what our bills and expenses are. What business is that of theirs? Does it matter? Does it matter? His post drew concern from others online. CTV News reached out to Harry Bond for an interview, but he did not provide any additional comment or agree to speak with the reporter. The guy is really wrecked by this whole thing. I haven't yet, still to this day, ever approached a family member, ever, and said, I kind of look at your situation a little bit. Do you want to talk to me? I pray and hope every day maybe I can get in contact with them. Maybe they'll talk to me so I can get more truth to you, and maybe I can do my job so that they can grieve. But the media has no time. They'll bang down people's doors. They won't let people alone. Red Cross says it's been in contact with families to get an understanding of their unique circumstances. Money, 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 money. Bill Lawler says the conversation has been a difficult one. It says the Red Cross is not asking families for specific amounts when it comes to their finances. Well, apparently that's not true. According to Harry. And I think Harry tells the truth. I like Harry. I agree with you. This business about and what it is, what truly the RCMP is. Yeah, I'll get into that in a bit. Lawler said some of the commentary on social media also suggests the Red Cross is keeping a percentage of the funds to cover administrative expenses, but said that's not true. Anyone suggesting it must be misinformed. Okay, I'll give you an example. Flood 2013, Calgary. Okay. Lots of people donated lots of money, right? How do I do this so I'm not completely doxing myself? Well, we lost our house. My family lost everything. And there was lots of rich history there. That was frankly all that really mattered. Do you know how much the Red Cross gave us? Not that we wanted it, because we're not like that. We were okay. At $0. That's what they gave. $0. Where did that money go? Oh, who knows? Who knows? They did come down the street one day with bottles of water. And I think they asked if we wanted Band-Aids and something else. I do remember that. And I'm being entirely serious. I'm not kidding with you. I remember talking to the lady on the street. That was what we got. But don't ask, because we don't need. But that's the way it works. Well, we're helping people, we promise. When the government of Nova Scotia asked us to be the guardians of this trust, they indicated that they will take care of any administrative expense so that there's no need to take care of that from the trust itself, or take that from the trust itself. That's when Karen Dean has been hoping to hear. She's among those who've been concerned after seeing the post online. Middle Musquodoboit woman has raised $95,000 so far with the sales from Nova Scotia Strong clothing line she created as a fundraiser. I do hope that they will give everyone the money without causing them any more grief. Lawler insists the Red Cross will get this right by the families. Didn't get right 2013. Mind you, I don't know, because we never really asked, but nobody said to us, hey, do you want some money, or can we help you? No, none of that. Here's some water and a Band-Aid. Thanks. And they raised fucking millions and tens of millions of dollars. Lots and lots of money. Nova Scotia Strong Together Fund is still accepting donations, and Lawler said the Red Cross will evaluate over the next few months how long to keep it going. Oh, well, it's a cash cow. Might as well keep rolling. The organization will publish a report online after so that donors can see exactly how their money is spent and used to help those they touch personally by the tragedy. You know, that'll get lost in the stew. Now, I did want to address something else. The intelligence component of the RCMP, I am intimately familiar with this stuff, literally from years, because this is what I do. This is all I research, and not RCMP stuff, right? But stuff. That's what I do. That's my job. Not that I get paid, but whatever. Now, I have some idea of how deep the intelligence factor of the RCMP is. Some. But frankly, what I'm beginning to see is alarming, even to me. The one that jokes about, ha ha ha, you're recording my call. I know it. I know it. I know the texts that don't come through. I know the emails that don't come through. Anybody who deals with me knows. Ask anybody who speaks to me. The echoes on my phone. Outrageous. Now, that's okay. I can deal with that. I know there's nothing to hide. I'm going to keep pushing. I'm going to keep asking questions, and I won't back down. And no, your silly little fucking games don't piss me off at all. They piss me off. But I don't like the fact that I see the manipulation of people. There was a quote. Okay, I'm going to read it to you. I don't want to do Bible thumping, because that's not my way. It's just whatever everybody believes. But I was reading something the other day, and it struck me. This is from Acts 20, okay, in the Bible. Don't tune out. Don't tune out. Just listen to the message. Let's see here. Where am I? For I know this, that after my departing shall grievous wolves enter in among you, not sparing the flock. Also, of your own selves shall men arise, speaking perverse things, to draw you away, draw away disciples after them. Therefore watch and remember that by the space of 3 years I ceased not to warn everyone night and day with tears. And now, brethren, I command you, and with the word of his grace, which is able to build you up and to give you inheritance among them all, which is sanctified. Take note of these words. Because I see it. And I know it. And don't think I don't know who you are in amongst the flock. Because I do. Stop fucking with people. Stop it. For know this, after my departing shall grievous wolves enter in among you, not sparing the flock. Also, of your own selves shall men arise, speaking perverse things, to draw away disciples after them. They're trying to pull you away, trying to convince you of other things, trying to mislead you and misdirect you. I'm not tinfoil. I'm not conspiracy. It's 100% true. I can deal with shit. Don't fuck with people I know. Don't. Don't. You got your warning. I'm not a big man on not backing up what I say. Use a discerning eye. A very discerning eye. You will see. Watch the logs in the Discord. You'll see. Look at the languaging, punctuation. They're not that great. How long are they on for? Oh, and there's a record. You can't delete it. And those of you who know something and keep that to yourselves, who do you think you're helping? I have seen some absolutely deplorable behavior by people who know things. When asked in a very polite way to share what they know to help somebody else. Deplorable. Selfish. Do the right thing. Look within yourselves. Help Harry. Help the 23 angels' families. Because they clearly need help. And if you were in their shoes, wouldn't you hope that somebody like you would help them? The answer to that is yes. So before you're in that position, do the right thing. Share. Contact me. Contact Steve. Contact those two only. Nobody else. Because there's wolves among you. And that makes me very sad. But that's fine. Certain people will solicit you. Wolves. If they're looking for the same thing, then it doesn't matter, does it? Doesn't matter, does it? They'd be like, fine. One less thing I have to deal with. Those two guys will take it on. Wolves. Wolves. God bless them all. Not the wolves. God bless you all. But if you don't understand, you're getting hurt by all this. Even if you were unaware, didn't really look at things too much, and just looked at the news headlines, that's enough. And you didn't need it. None of us did. And the subsequent actions of what is tantamount to ourselves being our government. Our police force. People that supposedly representing other people, getting paychecks. Wrong. Wolves. Watch them. Watch for them. They're there. Oh, I know it would happen. I said it would happen. Who they are concerns me. Fucking amount of misleading. I just wish you could live in my shoes. You'd understand. I really do. But frankly, I'm very glad that you don't. I'm very glad you don't. And I very much appreciate the help. Not the wolves, but the truly good ones. God bless you all. Be good to one another. We'll get through this. God bless the families.